Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about this video. I've been wanting to film it for so long and I finally got the chance to today. So if you didn't know already, NYX is actually launching a brand new foundation next week. It is a huge launch. There's been a lot of buzz going around about this foundation and I am here to tell you everything you need to know about this brand new foundation. So this is the brand new foundation from NYX. This is the Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. I'm so excited I got my hands on this today. I wanted to really play and talk about this foundation before the launch. They're actually launching this next week on, I believe, the 15th, whatever the Thursday is. So this is kind of like a sneak peek on this foundation and what it's all about. I show you guys application, break down everything you need to know about this foundation in this video. So if you're curious about it, then keep on watching. So let's just get straight into it before I start blabbering. So this is the foundation. Right away, the packaging, love it. It is a glass bottle. There is 1 fluid ounce of product in here, which is a pretty typical amount for a foundation. This is selling for $15, which is still such an amazing price for NYX and a drugstore brand. I say drugstore like this because I don't really consider NYX a drugstore. I mean, yes, it has like those lower price points, but I think people think NYX, because the price points are so low, that the quality's low, but it's not. NYX has some bomb products, and I'm not just saying that because I work for them. In case you guys didn't know, I do work for NYX. But I love their products, and the quality of their products is so professional, but you get it for a really low price. So just wanted to say that. All right, you guys, so the finish of this is going to be a natural matte finish, and it's also going to be full coverage. You're gonna get a lot of coverage with this foundation. And there are 45 shades total. That's a lot of colors. So definitely I recommend get shade matched at a store because it's hard to do it on your own, trust me. So get shade matched because there's so many colors available, which is amazing. So there is a shade for everyone. So this foundation is 24-hour wear. I personally don't wear a foundation for that long, but who knows, there might be someone who is partying all night and wants to wear their makeup from 6 a.m. to, you know, the next day. Not me, but I do like a long wearing foundation, so this is gonna last you quite a long time throughout the day. This is a water resistant weightless formula. It does feel very lightweight, which is awesome. I don't like feeling like I have a lot of product on my face. I get pretty oily, so like later on the day if I do get oily, my face just feels even heavier and heavier when the foundation starts to, you know, mix with my natural oils. But this foundation feels super lightweight, so I'm really happy about that. So that's basically everything you need to know about the foundation. When it comes to application, you're just gonna have to stick around after I talk about the primer to see the actual application, because that was like the true test, because I haven't played with it yet, so I actually tested out in this video. So stay tuned for that. But before I go into that, I want to talk about the brand new primer that they launched with this foundation. This is the Can't Stop, Won't Stop Matte Primer. They launched this with the foundation and I tried this out for the first time in the video. You'll see how I like it. But again, I just want to bullet point everything you need to know about this primer. So this primer is going to be a mattifying primer. So all those oily girls out there who get a lot of shine throughout the day, you're gonna want this primer. So this formula, it does not leave any residue. So it's very lightweight. The texture is very different from the primers I've seen out there in the makeup world. You'll see my thoughts on that in the application part of this video, but it has a very unique consistency. This will provide a blurring effect to the skin, and it also reduces the appearance of pores. This primer is also going to make your foundation last a lot longer throughout the day. So I know this foundation that's launching is a 24-hour wear. This is just going to really make it go on smoother and last longer. And you can mix and match this with like a different foundation if you just want to try this one out. But definitely I always recommend a primer if you're using a foundation. It's just going to make your wear last a lot longer. Also, another cool thing about this primer that it actually helps prevent foundation from oxidizing. I get a lot of clients who say their foundation changes throughout the day when it mixes with their oils or it just dries different. So this primer actually helps prevent that, which is pretty cool. So I hope you guys got all the information you needed for this brand new foundation and the primer, but also if you wanted to know about the application and how I apply it and my thoughts about it, then keep on watching because I'm about to jump into the application portion of this video trying out these two brand new products. So I'm going to start off by prepping my skin with a primer, and I'm actually going to use the brand new primer that launched with this foundation. This is the Can't Stop, Won't Stop Matte Primer, and I was playing around with this. It's a very thick consistency, and I feel like a little goes a long way. I don't think I would use this all over my face because I am very, very dry here, so I'm only going to use this in places where I need it. I get pretty oily in my T-zone, so that's usually between my brows. My nose gets very oily. I get very oily right here and then on my chin. So that is where I'm going to use this. It says to gently tap to set. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my hand and then just pat it in the areas where I need it. This is such a very different consistency that I'm used to with the primer. I feel it feels thick like in between your fingers, but when you press it in, it almost feels like it dries like a powder. Like you don't feel it at all, which is very interesting. But it does, like if I look in the mirror, it does look like my skin is very smooth in that area where I put the primer. It does feel like a tiny bit dry, which is weird. But I hope it really keeps me matte. And also it feels very cooling when you press it into your skin, which I like. It feels kind of refreshing. So I hope this primer works out. It's definitely a different kind of primer for me. For my dry areas, I'm going to use the Hydra Touch primer, and I'm going to apply this on my cheeks and forehead. All right, so this is the foundation, and I picked up the color. This is 10.3, so this is Neutral Buff. When I looked on the color wheel, it leans to be more of a warm tone. It was kind of tough for me to figure out what shade that I was going to do. Usually I'm a mixer, so I mix two different colors. I'll do like something lighter in the center, or I'll mix a light and a dark just to kind of customize my colors. So I feel like I will buy another foundation to mix with it, but just for right now, I'm just going to use this color. Again, this is the 10.3, so we'll see if this matches. I have no idea if it's gonna match. Honestly, I have not put this on my face yet, so this will be a little experiment. So I think to start off, I'm just gonna do a couple pumps on the back of my hand. I'm gonna start off with like 2 for right now. And I'm going to apply it with just a regular flat foundation brush. That's what they recommended to use, like to spread it out, and then I'm gonna go back and buff. So I'm just gonna work in the center of my face and then pull this product out. After using the flat foundation brush, I decided to go with something more dense, and I felt like this was great for packing on the product to give the ultimate full coverage. So the coverage of this foundation is amazing. Like usually I have so much like coverage that I need to add onto my cheeks because I do have a lot of scarring, and I haven't even used any concealer yet, and I freaking love how much coverage I'm getting. And I swear if you're oily and you use this foundation, you're gonna freaking love it because it keeps you so matte. But I can see, like, they made this foundation for every skin type, and I can see how everyone can wear it, but I think you really need to hydrate and take care of your base first before you use this foundation. So like use like hydrating products in the areas you need it, and you know, just prep your skin before this foundation, and I think it's gonna work great. I'm still trying to figure out this primer, but so far I like the foundation. Like this matte, like full coverage finish it's good. I was actually able to blend out my nose a little bit, and it looks much better. I think less is more with this primer. So anyway, I actually did just step away for about an hour to take a phone call, and I did not set my makeup yet, and it did not budge. I did read with this foundation is that it's not necessary for you to set it with a setting powder, but you can set it in the areas where you get a little shiny or oily, which is what I'm going to do. In my T-zone, I will be putting on just a very light powder just to keep it in place, but on everywhere else on the face, it doesn't really feel necessary that I have to use a powder. It definitely has more of a dry, not a dry finish, but it doesn't feel tacky. It doesn't feel like it's gonna move around at all. So that is really cool about this foundation. You don't really need to use a powder except maybe in your T-zone.
Now I'm going in with the HD concealer. I'm just going to use this to brighten up the areas underneath my eyes, and I'm just going to blend it out with a sponge. Then I'm going with the HD finishing powder in the color Banana. This is going to help keep that under eye area bright and also set my makeup. Now I'm going in with the bronzer, contour powder, blush, and a little highlight to complete the look.
Alright you guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so glad I was able to get this out before the launch to give you guys a better idea of what this foundation is all about, and also the brand new primer. So if you have any questions, list them down below. I'll try to answer them the best I can. I am still kind of learning about this foundation. It's still a very new thing for me, but so far I really like it. If you have tried it already, or when you do try it and you have any thoughts about it, please list it down below. I'm sure a lot of people want to see everyone's different opinions about it, and we can talk about it down below. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.